Good morning everyone. How are you all? I hope you are doing well and your study are also going well. So, today we are going to study about a new chapter, that is states of matter. And we all know that there are three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. And in the previous classes we have studied about the solid, liquid and gas, like their physical properties and their chemical properties. Yes, class. So today in this chapter we are going to study more about solid, liquid and gas. Okay, so let us begin with the water only. As we all know that water are present in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. In solid form it exists as ice, in liquid it exists as water, and in gaseous state it exists as steam. Yes class. So the ice, steam, water, they all have different properties due to different physical state. Yes, but if you can see the formula of ice, water and steam, the formula will be the same, that is H2O. And because of the same formula they possess the same chemical properties in the chemical reaction. But the rate of chemical reaction depend upon the physical state of the matter. If we do not have idea about the physical state of matter, then we cannot get the proper result while chemical reaction. Okay, so to get a proper result in laboratory, we need to have some idea about physical properties and the laws which govern these behavior of matter in different states. Yes. So in this chapter, we will study these things in detail. So to begin with the solid, liquid and gaseous. As we all know that the molecular arrangement of solid is closely packed, while in liquid they are less closely packed. And in gaseous state, the molecules are sufficiently apart from each other. Because in gaseous state, there are space present inside the gas. If we talk about intermolecular force of attraction, that is in solid it is the strongest, in liquid it is less strong than the solid, and in gaseous state it is negligible. As molecules are far apart, so the force of attraction between gaseous molecules will be negligible. In the same way, if I talk about energy, so in solid energy will be minimum because molecules are closely packed. They don't have energy and that's why they do not move, just like gaseous state. And in liquid, the energy is slightly higher than the solid. On while gas, the energy is maximum, or we can say the molecules of gaseous state is energetic. Yes class. So as the physical properties of the solid, liquid and gas differ mainly due to the difference between the intermolecular force of attraction, energy and the interaction between the molecules. So here you can see that these three factors determines the physical state of matter. Like if the intermolecular force will be more, then there will be less energy. So we would say this physical state of matter come under the solid. Yes. So today in this chapter First, we will study about the intermolecular forces, and then we will study about the energy which was possessed by the molecules, and then we will see the relationship between intermolecular force and the energy possessed by the molecule. And these factors determines the state of matter. Yes, class. So let us begin with the intermolecular forces and their types. So as we all know that intermolecular forces are the forces which exist between the molecules, or we would say among the molecules. Okay. So the intermolecular force is what? Intermolecular force this is nothing, the force exists among the molecules. As this force will be different from the electrostatic force of attraction. Yes, class. So there are following types of forces. So class, one more thing I would like to say, that here the attractive intermolecular force are called van der Waals force. Okay, so here we will study about the types of van der Waals force. So there are 4 types of van der Waals force. That is, the first one is dipole-dipole force. The second one is dipole induced dipole force. The third one is London force. And the fourth one is hydrogen bond, which we all have studied in our previous class. So the first one is dipole-dipole, second one is dipole-induced dipole, third one is London, and the fourth one is hydrogen bond. So apart from these 4 forces, there are 2 forces, that is ion dipole force and ion induced dipole force, which we do not consider under the van der Waals forces, because in that forces what happen, the force exists between the ion and the molecule. And we all know that in van der Waals forces what happen, the force exists between the molecules only. Okay, so let us begin with the first type of force, that is dipole-dipole force. So class, in dipole-dipole force, before study about the dipole-dipole force, we need to understand about the 2 terms, that is polar molecule and non-polar molecule. So in the previous class we have studied about the polar molecules and non-polar molecules. Like, polar molecules are the molecules consist positive and negative charge in it, and while in non-polar molecules no charge is present, or we would say that no separation of charges available. Yes, now so we'll see with the example. Here if I would say the HCl, so HCl is there. Here their shared pair of electrons are kept between the HCl at equal distance from the nuclei of hydrogen and the chlorine. So here you will see, as chlorine has high electronegativity, so it will attract the pair of electron towards it. So the formation of molecule becomes like this. So these electrons will move towards the chlorine, and when chlorine get the electron, what happen? It will develop a partial negative charge. and if it develop a partial negative charge, so hydrogen will develop a partial positive charge. Okay, as the shared pair of electrons is moved towards the chlorine, so the hydrogen will get the partial positive charge and chlorine will get the partial negative charge, as these charges are smaller than the unit charge, smaller than the new unit charge, and that's why we set them partial charge, and we always represent by the delta plus and delta negative. Okay, so these molecules will be called as polar molecules, and here you can see there is a separation of positive and negative charge by some distance. So the separation of molecules, the separation of charges by some distance possess a dipole in the molecule. So we would say that the separation of charges gives dipole. So dipole is nothing. Dipole is the molecule having two poles, that is positive and negative. And we always calculate dipole by the quantity dipole moment. If dipole moment will be more, what happen? The charges will be more or will be strong. Or we can say that the molecule may be polarized easily or fast. Or if dipole moment will be less, what happen? The molecules get polarized with lots of difficulty. Okay, so if I draw the electron cloud of these molecules, so the figure would be like this. Here, if I assuming that this is hydrogen and this is chlorine, so the nucleus of hydrogen is there and the nucleus of chlorine is there. So what happened in this class? The figure would be like this, that this is the nucleus of chlorine and this is the nucleus of hydrogen. So here you can see that the distortion of electronic cloud, this is the actually electronic cloud. So the electronic cloud get distorted and it get the shape like this, where the one end of the molecule get positive and the other becomes negative. Okay, because of the electronic cloud. Here you can see the electron is more on the chlorine atom and electron is less on the hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is the concept of polar molecules, that they possess the permanent dipole, while if we talk about non-polar molecule, they do not possess the dipole because there is no separation of charges in non-polar molecule. Okay class, so let us begin with the dipole interaction or the forces. So in dipole forces, what happens? The force exists between the polar molecules actually. So if I would take example like HCl, or so I have taken two molecules of HCl and we know they both are polar, so they will possess dipole. So what happened? We know that they will possess atoms. So so here you can see this negatively charged pole will attract the positively charged pole of the other molecule, and the interaction between the positive pole and negative pole bind these molecules. then, or we can say the forces between the dipole are called dipole-dipole force, because you can see that here one dipole is present, here second dipole is present, and the interaction between the dipole is called the dipole-dipole interaction. And if we talk about force, so this force would be called as dipole-dipole force. So if we talk about the strength of force, so the strength of force will be depend upon the distance between the molecules. If the distance between the molecules will be more, the force will be weak. And if the distance between the molecules or between the dipole will be less, the force will be strong. Okay, so from there we can say that the interaction energy is inversely proportional to the distance, because interaction energy will be inversely proportional to the distance, and it is the third power of distance when the polar molecules are stationary. And if the polar molecules are oriented, then we would say the interaction energy would be equal to the sixth power of the distance. So this is the relation between interaction energy and the distance between the molecules. Okay, so from there we can conclude that the molecules, the dipole-dipole force will be more if the distance between the molecules will be less, and it will be less if the distance between the molecules will be more. Okay, so this is the first type of intermolecular force. Now let us begin with the other type of force, that is dipole-induced dipole force. So in that case, the force exists between the polar molecule having permanent dipole and the non-polar molecule lacking permanent dipole. So what happened in this class, in this force, the permanent dipole which is present in the polar molecule induce the dipole in non-polar molecule. So let us understand with the help of example. Like again I am taking here HCl. So what happened? The HCl get, we all know they possess a permanent dipole, and here I am taking one neutral atom, or we can say non-polar molecule. They both the non-polar molecule or the atom are symmetrically charged. Okay, so here you would see that when they are in close contact, what happens? This negative pole of the molecule repel the electron cloud. So this electron cloud, so in the next figure if we would see, here I am making the distribution of electronic cloud of HCl. So you can see the figure will be like this, because chlorine always attract the shared pair of electrons towards it, so the structure get deformed and it will be like this. Okay, so here what happened? The chlorine will, so here this is our original molecule, and you can see because of the presence of negative charge, this the electron cloud of this molecule get deformed. So in this case what happened? The positive charge will come towards the negative charge, and the negative charge cloud will move away from the negative charge, because we all know that negative charge repel each other and positive and negative charge attract each other. So here you can see that here again the separation of charges takes place. So can we say that the molecules get polarized? Now this molecule get polarized. Polarized is nothing. The separation of charges takes place, or the separation of charges takes place. So we can say that the molecule possess dipole, as they are having the charges, opposite charges. So, and this here in this case the dipole will be called as induced dipole, because it is being induced by this polar molecule. Okay, so here the molecule get polarized and we get induced dipole. Okay, so this dipole will attract the induced dipole, or the interaction between the dipole and induced dipole is called the dipole induced dipole force. So here you can see they will attract each other. These dipole will attract each other, or we can say the negative pole of the one molecule will attract the positive pole of the other molecule. Yes class. Now one more thing is that this induced dipole will depend upon two things. The first one is the dipole moment of this particle, of this molecule. If the dipole moment of this molecule will be more, so it will get polarized easily because of the high negative charge. And if the dipole moment will be less, what happen? The charges will be less and it will take time to get polarized. And the second one is induced dipole will be depend on polarizability of the molecule. Like at what rate does this molecule polarize? Okay, so the two things induced dipole depend. The first one is dipole moment of the polar molecule, that is this one, and the other one is polarized nature of the molecule. Yes. So again, if we talk about the strength of force, so the strength of force will be more if the dipole or induced dipole, the distance between dipole and the induced dipole will be less, and the strength of force will be less if the distance between these two dipole will be more. Okay, so again we would say that the interaction energy is always inversely proportional to the distance between these two dipole. So this is the second force, that is dipole induced dipole force. Okay class, now the next one is London force. So the London force is the force which exists between the molecules. Now we will see what type of molecules come under this force. As we have seen in dipole-dipole interaction or in dipole-induced dipole interaction, at least one polar molecule is present. But here in London force, what happened? No dipole, no polar molecule is present. So the question is, in that case, what intermolecular force attract the molecules? Okay, so let us see. Here, what happened? I am taking the helium molecule. So we all know that helium molecule is what? He2. So here we have helium atom and helium atom. So now we'll see that how does they interact with each other. Okay, so what happened class? At some moment the electron cloud of the one atom or molecule get distorted due to the disturbance in the motion of the electrons. So what happened? The electron cloud get distorted and it becomes like this. So what happened? The molecule become polarized and it take charges like positive, del positive and delta negative because of shifting of electron cloud towards right side. So the right pole get negative charge and the left pole get positive charge. As this pole has two charges, so this will produce a dipole and that dipole will be called as instantaneous dipole. Instantaneous. Why it is instantaneous dipole? Because at a instant time it produce. Okay. Now what happened when this molecule come in close contact with this neutral molecule or neutral atom? What happened? This molecule also get polarized in the presence of this atom or molecule. Okay, so what happened here again? Delta negative is there. So in the presence of the charges of this molecule, this atom also get polarized, and you will see that the positive charge will be near to the negative charge. Yes, or we can say that this negative charge repel the electron cloud. Okay, and it attract the positive charge. So by the presence of this molecule, here electron cloud get distorted and this molecule or atom are also getting polarized. And when it get polarized, so the dipole will induced, and this dipole will be called as induced dipole. Okay, so here you can see the instantaneous dipole and the induced dipole. When two dipole interact with each other, the London force acts. So London force is nothing, the force which act between the two dipoles, that is instantaneous dipole and the induced dipole. So here you can see that the both molecule are neutral, and at the instant of time one molecule get polarized, and by the presence of one polarized molecule the other one get polarized, and they develop a dipole, and that interaction of dipole will be called as London force, or the force act between the instantaneous dipole and the induced dipole will be called as London force. As this force was proposed by the London phrase, so we always study this force as London force or dispersion force. The second name of this force is dispersion force. Dispersion force. Dispersion force. Okay class. So this is the third type of intermolecular force. Now the fourth one is hydrogen bonding. So you all have studied about the hydrogen bonding in the previous class, and we all know that in hydrogen bonding what happened, the polar molecules take part. Yes, and in hydrogen bonding what happened, the very limited element take part in the hydrogen molecule. Only those molecules or only those elements who are having the lone pair of electrons, right? Like oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, or we can say chlorine, as they all have lone pair of electrons. Yes, class. So hydrogen bond is nothing. Hydrogen bond, what happen in hydrogen bonding? Hydrogen bonding, the polar molecules come in close contact, and we all know that here the in hydrogen bonding the molecules takes part in which the molecule become polar. So here this will having positive charge, this will having negative charge, again here positive charge and negative charge. So you will see that the negative pole of this molecule will attract the positive pole of this molecule. So here this bonding will be called as hydrogen bonding. Okay, as you can see that there are two polar molecules are present in the hydrogen bonding. So, and the dipole, the interaction between dipole will be called as the hydrogen bonding. So, you can see that this is the a special category of the dipole-dipole interaction, because in dipole-dipole interaction two polar molecules participate. Okay, and here you can see two polar molecules are participating in the hydrogen bonding. Okay, class. So the hydrogen bonding is the special case of the dipole-dipole interaction, and here you can see that the in every polar molecule hydrogen will be present, and the other atom which is present in the molecule, that will be the electronegative atom. Means that atom will have more electronegativity. Okay, so this is the hydrogen bonding. So we have completed four intermolecular forces. The first one is dipole-dipole force, the second one is dipole-induced dipole force, the third one is London force, and the fourth one is hydrogen bonding. Okay, so in the next video we will cover up the thermal energy and the relationship between intermolecular forces and the energy. So thank you.